Hi, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you're having a great day. My name is Ricky and this is Ricky's Puzzle and Book Chat. And as you can see in front of me, I've got my newest Springbok puzzle called Stylish Spaces, 500 piece. And look at this image. It was so pretty and so fun to put together. And really, it's basically 4 puzzles in one. You got each distinct section of a living space, one here, a purple one here, one down here, and one over here. And each one has a different vibe about it and a different feel about it. And I absolutely love the art on this. It reminded me of retro mod type art, and it's just so pretty. I absolutely loved working on it, and I love the abstract art on the walls. It just seems like it's reflecting a modernist style from the yesteryear, I guess, from the early 60s or so. And I absolutely enjoyed this puzzle. It was so fun to put together. One of those that when I was working it, I just didn't want it to stop. And I have to admit that the sections were very easy to put together because clearly you have really 4 mini puzzles here to put together, and I think that's why it made it so easy. The puzzle is currently on the Springbok website, and if you do love this image, I would recommend that you go out and buy it. Now, one thing that you will notice at the beginning of the time lapse, or me opening up the puzzle box, I did have an issue with pulling apart some of the freebies because I don't like freebies. So if I see 2 pieces of clinging together, I will pull them apart. But I came across a section of 4 pieces that were clinging together that looked like it hadn't been cut thoroughly through, and I pulled the 2 of the pieces apart and it ripped the backing on one of them. It was annoying, but it did not really interfere with the puzzling experience at all. And actually, you cannot even tell that there was an issue with that when I actually put the puzzle together. And later on, I do flip the puzzle over, and when I look at it, you really can't even tell that I had an issue tearing the pieces apart. But I just want to let you know that that sometimes does happen, especially with Springbok. There are several pieces that are still connected together, and you have to pull them apart. Now, in my case, I may have been a little bit forceful in it and pulled it apart, which caused the tear on the back piece. The front pieces of the puzzle pieces were not torn. It was just the back on one of the tabs. But like I said, this puzzle was highly enjoyable. I absolutely loved it, and I loved it because it was so different. But anyway, stay tuned for the time lapse, and I will show you how I built this puzzle. Again, it was very easy build. And with that, I'm also going to show you some of my books here that I pulled, which is goes along with the theme of retro modernist type homes and a decorating style. I actually pulled some of these books that I have. Some of them are vintage and some are not vintage. But anyway, stay tuned, and after I do the time lapse, I will show you these books. And with that said, I hope you enjoy your day, and I would absolutely love to hear from you. So please leave me a comment if you love this puzzle, if you've worked this puzzle, and what you thought of that. Anyway, with that said, I hope you enjoyed the time lapse, and I do hope you have a great day. Bye now. All right, this is the next puzzle I decided to do. It's Stylish Spaces by Springbok, 500 piece. And look at this. I love this retro mod look of these living spaces. Look at the colors of that. I can't wait to work on this. This looks like it's going to be so fun and so colorful. Love this one. When we look on the side, here we will notice that it does have the artist information listed here by the price barcode, and it says Springbok Studios. Side view. Got a side view with the image. Another side view. And then if we look at the back, it has advertisements for other Springbok puzzles, and their website here is listed. But when I look at this puzzle, it looks like it's going to be so fun. I think I'm going to obviously separate it out by each distinct room and put it together like that. But it looks like it's going to be so colorful and fun to actually work on. Can't wait to start on this. All right, let's go ahead and take a look inside and look at these pieces. Okay, it looks like it's got the beige background. Look at those pieces. Look how colorful this is. This is going to be fun to put together. Let's go ahead and open this up. Wow, look at these pieces. Uh-oh, got a big freebie here. Look at this. Let me just gingerly take this apart because I don't like the freebies. Take it apart. And that piece tore a little bit. It's okay though. All right. Look at these colors. Oh, wow. Can't wait to work on this. This is going to be a fun one. Here's another freebie. I got to be careful. Don't manhandle the pieces, Rick. See my favorite Springbok shapes. Look at that one. Oh, look at this chunky monkey. Take these apart gingerly. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I love the feel of these pieces. Let me take apart some of these pieces here. I don't like my freebies. All right, let me get this puzzle sorted and then we'll start building it. Wow. Loving that sound. Yeah, this is going to be fun to build. All right, I pretty much have all the pieces sorted out in my tray, and what I have is basically a section for each room, and in the middle part is the edge pieces. So when I look at the actual puzzle itself, the picture on the box, a room here, a room here, a room here, and this lovely room here, and that translates to the different compartments here in my sorting tray. And I think this is going to be such a fun, beautiful puzzle. I think it's going to be really colorful, and I can't wait to get it together. So I'm going to start building the edge and putting this puzzle together. Oh, and by the way, here's the dust. I push it together into all together, and it was quite a bit of dust in this puzzle. right, I'm about to complete this puzzle, and it was so much fun. I had a great time on it. Real easy build. Of course, it's really 4 puzzles in one. You know, you got your different sections here, and it's clear basically wherever piece, every little piece goes, which section it falls into. And it was just such a fun puzzle. Easy puzzle build. I really, really enjoyed it. Highly, of course, highly recommend it. Oh, wow, it's so pretty. Just love the way it's coming into shape and build. And with that, here's the last piece. Look at that. Retro modern living spaces. Actually, the name of the puzzle is Stylish Spaces, 500 piece by Springbok. And each little panel represents a certain section, different style of living space. And I love this image. Bright colors. What comes to mind is retro mod. Look at the detail in this puzzle. Look at the little dog there blending in. Look at this beautiful abstract art on the wall. And then this kitty cat relaxing in this postmodern expressionist art. Love this, love it. So pretty. Fun puzzle, fun puzzle. All right, as you can see, I've completed my puzzle and I absolutely loved it, had a great time on it. And as you know, it's time for my one-hand pickup challenge. I like to do that with my Springboks. So let's see what we can do on this baby. Oh, thank you, Springbok. I'm actually holding this with my thumb and middle finger. That's the quality of Springbok. Love it so much. Now, as you recall, when I was unboxing the pieces and poured the bag out and was looking at the pieces and separating my freebies, I actually tore the back of a piece. It did not affect the quality of this puzzle whatsoever. As a matter of fact, you can't even tell where that piece was slightly damaged when I pulled it apart. But the piece in question is right here, and it's this big chunky monkey. And I pulled a little bit of the papering off the back of this one as I separated it. Now, I have to admit, it was sort of annoying having to separate so many pieces or take apart the freebies. But overall, it did not hinder the puzzling experience. I love this puzzle. I think it's beautiful, and it's actually one of my favorites that I've done this year. It's a new Springbok puzzle, Stylish Spaces, 500 pieces. And I loved the artwork of it. So different. So as you can get a better idea of the puzzle shapes, I've actually flipped it over to get a better look at the puzzle shapes for you. The different types of shapes of this random piece puzzle. And the piece in question that actually ripped slightly was right here on this section here. I just wanted to flip it over to show you it really wasn't that much damage. It was just this little piece right here when I separated those two. Did not bother the puzzling experience at all, did not hinder it at all. It actually does not bother me that much to have freebies that I have to separate. But anyway, I love this puzzle. Again, I highly recommend it. I'm going to try to flip it over for you. There we go. I can almost throw this puzzle as a frisbee. Okay, as you can see, I've now brought the puzzle outside under the natural light. It's nice and sunny out. I'm going to try not to cast a shadow on it. But look at the colors of this puzzle. Isn't this beautiful? Really, really beautiful puzzle. The colors really popped on it. And really is actually 4 puzzles in one, really. 4 little distinct different sections. And I had a great time on this. Look at the colors of this. It's so pretty. Absolutely loved it. Love this puzzle. Very colorful, very fun, and as I always say, I highly recommend it. All right, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. It was really fun putting this puzzle together, and I do recommend it. It's one of those that is just so easy to put together, and the colors are fabulous, and I think you will absolutely have a great time with it. But anyway, with that said, I've got 4 of my books here that I'm going to show you as part of the chat portion of the video. And they're not in any particular order, but when I actually was working this puzzle, I tried to build a theme of the books that I would pull for this to show you. And the first one, it's not a vintage book. It's actually a book that was put out about 10 years ago. It's called Better Homes and Gardens Decorating Book. And it has a vintage feel. And what they did is they compiled a bunch of images from their magazine that they had back in the 60s or so, and they put in to show some designs of those in this book. And look at that cover. Isn't that beautiful? Love that. And on the back, it's got some different images of how to decorate your home, or some beautiful images of home decorating back in the 60s. And this book is chock full of images and artwork, and it's honestly one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen. Now the decorating style might be a little on the odd side, and I hope there's not a glare on the book, if you can see that. But look at that room. And it's just full of beautiful images. And look at this living space. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's got a lot of tips from the magazine back in that day. And I used to get Better Homes and Garden, and I'm not sure if that's still published or not. I hope it is, because it was one of those where every month you'd get your monthly magazine, and it would have cooking in it, decorating style. Look at these images here. Just a fun book. This book is a fun compilation of all those different styles. Look at that. You got to have a pink bathroom, right? And I could just flip through this book all day long. I love this cutout of a home on how to properly lay out furniture and decorate. Accents and accessories complete the room scheme. Now look at this. So fun. I'm going to try to find some really nice images. Now it's got some wacky images in here too. I'm like, wow, this room is really, really busy. Like this here. I sort of like the color scheme, but I'm not sure about that pattern on the curtains or the drapes. But anyway, if you come across this book, you will love it. It's real fun to look at, and you probably can find it on eBay or so. I don't think it's very old. Let me see how old this book is. It's just got a nice feel about it. Love looking at this book. Better Homes and Garden. I don't see a year on it. I love this. Dear Homemaker, everyone would love to live in a lovely and spacious home, but until circumstance and fortune make it possible to do, most of us must rely on our ability to decorate and arrange our present home tastefully and comfortably so that it meets our family's needs. Look at the binding in that. Real pretty book. Now the next book I found, it is a vintage one, and I love this book. It's called Esquire's Handbook for Hosts. Now this book is actually for gentlemen, how to properly host, be a host, how to prepare dinners, how to serve cocktails, how to be the perfect host in your home when you invite guests. And some of these recipes in here and chapters are really funny. Look at that. And I love the artwork in this book also. Now here's some of the table of contents. How to use this book. Read it and reap. Equipment. Pans make the man efficient. Caviar from sturgeon who seldom need urging. Fish. Tipping the scales in Ipocrates' favor. How to do it right by a man's dish. Cooking the kill. I love this book. It's got all kinds of little ideas and tips, recipes, And it's clearly a dated book, but it's sort of tongue-in-cheek also. Cocktails. And I love it has little cartoons in it also. And it has some cocktail recipes for various cocktails. I love flipping through these books. Cartoon says, "Who wants to play spin the bottle?" Okay, I love this. The sober duty of a host. The mark of a perfect host is that he has a good time at his own party, but not too good. For though he seems to be just another guest, he is really very busy staying sober enough to continue his subtle hosting. I love this. And again, like I said, this is the perfect guide for every bachelor or man out there who needs to be a perfect host. It even has ideas on how to play cards. Okay, so this book is an absolute Bible, a plethora of entertaining for the modern man. Love, love, love this book. It's so fun to just flip through this and read it and look at it. And it says here, copyright 1949 by Esquire. Now, Esquire magazine was a popular magazine in the United States for a long, long time. But this book is really, really fun. If you get a copy of this, you'll love it. Now, the next book I got, I just love the look of this small book. It's called The Story of Our Gardens by Dorothea Eastwood. And look at this simple, beautiful book. I love that. And basically, she just puts in the story of English gardens. She has some beautiful pictures of some various English gardens. And when I say English gardens, I mean those gardens where they're absolutely beautiful with wildflowers. Well, there's variations. There's so many different styles, and she details that in this little book here. And I don't really want to say it's a full history book, but it's almost like a history book, chock full of images and beautiful, beautiful arrangements. And when I seen this, I just had to have it. They even have some poetry in it. Sweet, sweet book. Love it. Now, the next book I've got to go along with the modern home back in the 60s. And what home did not have cookbooks or ideas from Betty Crocker? Now, this book here, I found this book and I thought, my God, it's just so beautiful. It's called Betty Crocker's Hostess Cookbook, featuring more than 400 guest-tested recipes. A wealth of ideas for today's entertaining. Now, does this scream 1960s modernism, postmodernism? Isn't that beautiful? Just love this book. And I believe this book actually came out in 1961 or 1962, and this is definitely a vintage book. And again, it's one of those that it's more of an art book. Now, I have to admit, I do have a strange obsession regarding vintage cookbooks. I've got dozens of those, from Betty Crocker to Better Homes and Garden, to Good Housekeeping, to McCall's. All the great magazines, they all put out cookbooks, and I love those books. And this one is a beautiful page here, a handbook for the hostess. And it's just chock full of beautiful images. Look at this princess phone. How many of you out there had a princess phone? Planning the party. What kind of party? Who goes with whom? The pleasure of your company. Let me see if I can get some recipes. And look at this. Got some beautiful images of the dishes and the recipes. I love the look of this book. Cheese chart. Hope you can see that. Oh. Cocktails. And I love looking at some of the dishes in this book. But anyway, this book is so beautiful. It's one of those, again, like I consider it really like an art book. Look at this beautiful illustrations. Betty Crocker's Hostess Cookbook. Love it. Now the next one I've got is a vintage book also. It's called Betty Crocker's New Dinner for Two Cookbook. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Love that place setting. There's the back of it. But again, it's chock full of images, illustrations, recipes, tips on how to be a good hostess. Love it. And what home in the 60s was complete with the Betty Crocker cookbook? Did your homes have those when you grew up, or did your grandparents have these cookbooks? Look at the illustrations there. It's just a different era, a different feel. It just seems like, to me, as I look back at yesteryear, that it was just an era where people had class. It's hard to explain. It just seems like they had so much class, and they took the time to elevate the dining experience at home. Look at these images. Isn't that beautiful? But anyway, it's Betty Crocker's New Dinner for Two, and this is a vintage cookbook, and you probably can find this somewhere. But I love these old vintage cookbooks. They have a different look about them. They're just so pretty to look at. They're really like art books. If I don't knock these off. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the puzzle, me showing you these books, the time lapse. Let me know if you plan to get these puzzles. Let me know if you got these books, or if you have any Betty Crocker cookbooks. Anyway, with that said, I hope you have a great day. Bye now. Nice and cool out here. Beautiful sunny day. Look at these babies. Fabio! What you doing, Fabi? Look at all these leaves I've got to rake up and mulch. I'm like, oh my gosh. We finally lost all our leaves just about off our trees. What you got there, Fabi? Huh? So beautiful out today. Nice and cool. I love a nice, cool autumn day. Are you hungry? What are you eating? What are you eating? Blessings all around. Margot. Hi, Margot. You daddy's girl. You daddy's girl. Oh my goodness.